Becoming an influencer and building a successful online image or personal brand from the ground up is not a walk in the park. It takes a lot of planning, courage, and confidence before these turn into successful career or booming businesses. With the rise of technology and social media nowadays, there's no wonder why we see tons of online personalities in today's time. Being a social media influencer is a viable business, they say. And if you want to become a part of them, then watching this video is no accident. What's up everyone, I'm Paul Andre, and welcome to another exciting episode of our book review series. Today, we're going to look at one of Brandon Kane's best-selling books that's going to help you jumpstart your influencer career. Before we get into that, cue in the intro, please.
Paul Andre, give them what they need, here to motivate and inspire, bring the energy, let's go. Content I know you need it, all about personal branding, even public speaking, and we live streaming, this I know you'll like, get it hype.
For today, we have the 1 million followers updated edition written by renowned digital social influencer strategist Brandon Kane. This updated edition of the book has been making the rounds everywhere when it was released earlier this year. Although the principles of the book from the first edition are still intact, this updated edition gives better insight on how to put these into action on the platforms we have today. With that said, let's dive right into the review. Gaining followers all boils down to the type of content you create. The book puts more emphasis on the first portion of the three-part strategy called the hypothesis. This stage tackles the importance of creating engaging content that can lure your audience in. Though keep in mind that thorough planning is a must during this stage. You can't just put whatever content you want and expect it to boom overnight. This brings us to our second part, which is the testing stage. As the name suggests, this is where you need to test your concept and see how it engages with your target audiences. You need to see what works and what doesn't work when testing these concepts. Doing so will help you disregard unnecessary stuff in creating your content. Because what's the point releasing that kind of content if it does not engage with your audience, right? Once you figure out what works, this brings us to the third stage, which is called pivot. This is the point of no return, when you have finally decided the content you want to create. If it works for you, then it's time to invest and further build content from that foundation. But what if you change your mind? No worries, because you can always go back to the beginning and start from scratch from there. If you don't mind repeating this process all over again, then you're off on a great start. Creating content is not about getting that dollar. It's about the message you want to convey to your audience. That's why building your follower count is just as important as creating your content. The bigger the audience, the better. Though it can be a little daunting experience to reach a larger group of people at first, right? But it will eventually come to you in the long run. Having a bigger audience lets you express your message in larger quantities even more. And this ties down to the chosen content that you want to build. Speaking of content, there will be times when we get tired along the way. This brings us to our next section of the review. Brandon expresses in every chapter of his book how important your content is. My favorite quote in this section would be, if you have something to offer and you know how to leverage digital and social platforms, you can reach millions, if not hundreds of millions of people around the world in no time. That quote from Brandon alone struck me hard on how you manage the content you want to create. I gotta be real here. There are probably a few of you there who wants to create content but are afraid of what's going to happen next. I've seen several people who started off with a bang and eventually stopped as time goes by. And this is the time where the surge of followers will stop flowing as well. So, what about those new followers who recently discovered your content? You can't just leave them hanging, right? That's why you never stop offering content, whatever that might be. As Brendan said in the quote, you can reach millions in no time if you have something to offer. So don't give up, only because it will take time to increase that follower count. We all start from small beginnings, and being a social media personality is no exception. Having trouble bringing your ideas to life? Maybe this is a time to hire a team. With an extremely great number of online platforms as of late, this is the perfect time to put those strategic content creation tactics into action. The online world is miles different from what we've seen 10 or 20 years ago. What was once a simple place to hang out with friends virtually is now becoming a place where we can find our niche. No wonder why people love to start a business through social media. not only because it helps get that dollar when we start to be monetized, but it's also a way to express our activity. Content creation is like a work of art where we can earn from it using the right strategies. If you have a special talent or something that you want to express through this type of business, then there's no better time to get started now. 1 Million Followers Updated Edition by Brendan Kane is a must-have for those who want to become an influencer. Although I got some mixed reviews from some critics, I found it a good read nonetheless, even with its flaws. This review is only the tip of the iceberg of this book. For example, the later chapters of this book feature exclusive interviews with celebrities and influencers. Grab your copy today and let this book be your guide in honing in on your influencer skills. And that's a wrap. Thank you for watching today's book review series. But before you go, don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit that notification bell to get notified with more uploads. Thank you. Have a great day. Peace.